Hello and welcome back, YouTube. So that's the first time I've ever gone to Osbar Karaoke for Sunday karaoke, or for that matter, for any night, come to think of it, but particularly for Sunday karaoke, and stayed for the entire karaoke show from the beginning to the end. That was blast. Got to sing a lot. It was pretty dead, which is actually a good thing for me. I was just all about singing songs, working on my vocal chops, and drinking a couple of beers, and just mostly relaxing and being out of my apartment. So mission accomplished. I actually got a lead on a karaoke gig, so I'm on my way to go check that out. By the way, it's still May 28th, Sunday night, 8:47 p.m. They're doing some kind of DJ thing over there at Osbar. It's supposed to be like a goth night, and I was kind of interested in it, but so far, like, nobody's showing up for it. Will I wander back here? Nah, probably not. I kind of liked where it was starting, and then he stopped the music and they turned the jukebox on because we're having some kind of technical difficulty. So, yeah. Hopefully they resolve it. But I was kind of surprised, like, in preparation for this, they brought in their own sound system as opposed to just setting up through the bar's sound system, which is kind of mediocre. And this, before they had problems, like, the music was sounding really, really good. In fact, the system sounded fucking incredible. Didn't recognize exactly what kind of gear they had. I was kind of trying to look, but couldn't really recognize it. But yeah, it was, I don't know, had high hopes for it, but there were more people on the patio playing poker, and I'm thinking now is a good time to swing by Bunkhouse and just see if that's a good lead. A couple of guys that were hanging out there that I've seen singing on other Sundays, shut up, car, that I've seen singing on other Sundays, suggested it to me. And I was like, well, should I use her as a reference? I'm like, no, that's who to talk to. So, Corey, the host, he also said that somebody had mentioned to him that they were looking for somebody to host karaoke. But although later he said that he thought that it was actually somebody with a karaoke company looking for hosts to run their system, which I'm not looking for that whatsoever. Not in the slightest been interested in that. No, if I'm gonna work for somebody else, it's gonna be a warehouse, and I'm gonna be operating the forklifts. No, if I'm doing karaoke at this point, I'm running my own system and doing my own thing, and they're hiring Karaoke by Dan, the company, as opposed to just somebody hiring me as an employee. And I hope that wasn't all that Corey was talking about, but I got a feeling that perhaps it was. But the other guy said, check out the Bunkhouse, so I'm going to check out the Bunkhouse. So in between singers, I did handle some stuff. I got all using the Wi-Fi over there at Osbar, because, as I've mentioned, with my service through Mint Mobile, I have a very limited amount of data per month, and if I overrun it in order to get more data, they charge just ridiculous prices for the additional data. So yeah, gotta be frugal and manage the data. And one thing that's being unhelpful with that I've really taken for granted working at Amazon, Amazon has Wi-Fi for all the employees in there. As far as I can tell, the new warehouse I'm at does not. And as if that's not bad enough, using Mint Mobile, I get 1 bar and slow service if I'm lucky. Sometimes it says I have no service. So, yeah. Granted, they seem to be way stricter on their phone policy than Amazon is. I'm not trying to test that, especially since I've only been there 2 days. So far, the only thing that I've used my phone for whatsoever, and I'm fully prepared to answer for a whole bunch of pedestrians walking together, They look to be female with nice legs. Anyway, the only time that I've used my phone whatsoever, and it's not actually using my phone, but I've had times where I've been on the forklift or in the warehouse where I've pulled my phone out of my pocket just to see what the hell time it is. And again, I'm fully prepared to defend that, because there are absolutely no clocks that I've seen anywhere whatsoever within the building. And first two forklifts that I used, I didn't see the time displayed on them anywhere. The third forklift that I used, which was right at the end of my shift on my second day, I pretty much ran the battery dead to the point where it's like, yeah, it's at a crucial level, and I'd kind of like to park it like wherever y'all swap out or charge the batteries, as opposed to having a situation of a dead forklift that can't be moved. And then I only had maybe 20-30 minutes of the shift left. In the way it used to be at Amazon, I would have just PTO'd out and gone home. I wouldn't have even bothered fucking checking out another forklift. But I figured at that little amount of time, I didn't do the full checklist. I did look it over. I mean, I'm not going to take off on a forklift without checking to make sure that all the essentials are as they should be. But yeah, I didn't do. They use like a logbook written checklist. It didn't seem, with roughly 20 minutes left in the shift, it didn't seem worth it to spend 10 minutes of that putting check boxes in a log that I highly doubt anybody looks at anyway. But yeah, I got on that one, and to my surprise, it showed the time on it. It showed the incorrect time on it. And my handheld scanner, which is Zebra, that's a Zebra scanner, same brand that the Amazon scanners that I used were, except a much more advanced, fancier model with way more keys on it. Bigger screens, overall a bigger, fancier scanner. It had, it's an Android device, so of course it should show the time in the upper left-hand corner, but it was also showing the wrong time. So I just had to need to know what the fuck time it was. I pulled my phone out of my pocket at a standstill. I'm not doing it on a moving forklift. That would be stupid. But I have, and I'm sure it's on camera, they've seen me pull my phone out, and if they're looking, like, I click it just enough to see the screen where I would put my pin in, and I look at the time, and then I put it back in my pocket. So, yeah, until they at least get the correct time on my scanner and on my forklift, I gotta know what time it is, and wear a watch is not a solution for a person who has autistic sensitivity issues. So, anyway, I'm almost to Bunkhouse. I don't know that I've ever been inside Bunkhouse other than to pick up a passenger in my cab. So, I see there's red blinking lights of a Hawk coming up here, which I think is Turney Avenue, and I'm pretty sure the Bunkhouse is just like right by here. Near Turney. Pato's Bunkhouse, there it is. Yeah, this might not be a good night for this sort of thing. And usually this is like too late on a Sunday to even try to see owners, but I figure at least, okay, there's a door guy. That's never something I like to see. I gotta remember tonight is an amateur drinking night, because it's a 3-day holiday weekend. It just absolutely doesn't look like there's anywhere to park. Yeah, I'm thinking tonight is just not a good, this is narrow. Yeah, I'm thinking tonight's not a good night. It is entirely busy. I'm not really in the mood for crowded places. That place is definitely on my radar, though. I'm going to go back there. Speaking of looking for karaoke gigs, I did manage to order. I've been all out of business cards for quite some time. I did find a random one like on my floor, which I gave to Heather, who is now working. Heather, who I used to work with over at at Bullock's. She is now working over at Swizzle Stick, over by the iPhone repair place over there. It's 16th and Bethany. So I did get her a. I gave her the last random business card that I found on the floor somewhere in my apartment. I'd been kind of keeping that in my back pocket for just like the right person. And I don't think Swizzle Stick is interested in karaoke. I don't, but I figure if anybody should have a copy of that card and my phone number, it should be Heather. So, wow, those are all new apartments there on the left. That's like a new high-rise apartment building that used to be over there. I don't remember what was over there. I think it used to be single-family homes over there. Every time I see those pack and stack apartments going up, I'm not happy. I'm not particularly fond of them. I mean, I get the argument for denser development, but it seems like every time those type of apartments go up, they're typically super expensive, and I'm trying to think of where I could go get some fast food. I'm kind of hungry. They're usually super expensive, like, not like I'm looking for an apartment, but just saying, like, it those new complexes, the pack and stack places, are never even remotely affordable. Now, in theory, if they build more of those, then the older complexes will lower their rent. Yeah, I haven't seen that happening either. I mean, my rent keeps going up. And my best friend lives in an apartment complex that's been there for 30 plus years, and his rent's even higher than mine. So yeah, this trickle down rent effect of build more luxury apartments, and then the older apartments will become more affordable. Yeah, it's a plausible theory, but I haven't seen that play out in real life. So all I'm seeing is just really hideously ugly pack and stack buildings going places where things that I found less offensive to look at used to be, and additional traffic as a result of them being there. But anyway, I'm trying to think of where I want to go to eat. I mean, as per always, I'm craving Del Taco, but I can't think of a Del Taco that's particularly near here. Oh, that's not true. What am I thinking? There's the one over there at 3rd Street and Thomas. That's very close to where I'm at. All right, I have a plan, and hopefully they'll be open when I get there. Clock on the Saturn says 8:58, so add or subtract a minute to that, or 2 minutes to that. I don't remember. Pushing 9 o'clock. It's definitely going to be after 9 o'clock by the time I get to Del Taco. So hopefully they're not closing at 9 o'clock on a Sunday, or I'll have to figure out some other plan for food. All right, this looks like a good place to turn left to get over there. This corner always trips me out. How it's that shopping center where the original Bash's used to be is now a Whole Foods, and somehow that whole strip mall has gone from looking dilapidated and borderline abandoned to being completely full with very young urban professional hipster type businesses, and crowd patronizing all those businesses. Not that I have anything against Whole Foods, I just don't feel like paying my whole paycheck to get groceries. Now, I did have somebody tell me pretty recently, actually it was Natalie, the homeless gal, whom I haven't seen in quite a while. Last time I did go by her little campsite again. The campsite was there, all of her stuff but the bicycle was there, but she was nowhere to be found. Fortunately, there were no other people hanging out there doing drugs. That was kind of comforting. And part of me wanted to sit there and chill and hope she might come back, but yeah, I did sit there for a little bit and work on some stuff on my phone, and bounced out. But yeah, it was Natalie that was like, oh yeah, we'll go get, told her I was going to get groceries. It's like, oh, you should go to Walmart, they're the cheapest. I'm like, yeah, it's always worth it to me to pay a little bit more to not shop at Walmart. And the irony is, I think I ended up going to Walmart like later that day or the next day, just because I was there. Like, it was convenient. Part of it was because I was there, and part of it was because I wanted to see if Walmart had an exclusive vinyl pressing for the new Ed Sheeran album, and I was kind of surprised they didn't have the new Ed Sheeran album whatsoever. So, and I know I mentioned this before, but maybe not only is Target have an exclusive pressing of it, Target may have an exclusive release of it. At any rate, I haven't got the new Ed Sheeran yet. I haven't heard anything from the new Ed Sheeran yet. Not the most important thing I need to be buying right now, but I do love me some Ed Sheeran, and I'm enough of a fan. I don't need to hear anything off that album. I know I want it, and I know I want a nice vinyl pressing of it. While I don't have the entire Ed Sheeran discography on vinyl, I have most of it. So definitely getting his new one. Shit, I still have his last album, Factory Seal. I haven't opened that damn thing. Yeah, probably get the new one, and I'll just listen to the two of them just back to back and get in my Ed Sheeran zone. But yeah, I you know, when there's a major new release, I do like to look at both, because Target has been pretty on point about having some pretty cool, colorful, uniquely packaged exclusive releases, and so is Walmart. So obviously, I'm not the kind of collector that's going to buy both, but I do like kind of looking at both and deciding, hey, which one seems like a neater package. And obviously, I'm gonna go to the one, if one of them has additional songs, I'm leaning towards additional songs. One could be spectacularly colored, like splatter vinyl with a unique gatefold artwork. The other one could be just the same as the regular retail release with 4 extra songs. I'm leaning towards 4 extra songs. That's where my priority is. But at any rate, don't know what's up with that. But that's why I ended up going back to Walmart. And while I was there, I did see some other records I was very interested. I almost pulled the trigger on the new Weird Al Yankovic album, which is the soundtrack to his new movie that's a Roku streaming exclusive. Yeah, it was $35, and that was before I got the new forklift gig, so didn't think I could justify spending that much money with my income so uncertain. Oh, I sure hope they're open.
Welcome to Del Taco. How can I help you?
Yay, you guys are open. Wanted to get the deal with the 2 carnitas combo burritos.
All right.
That's actually it for me.
All right, it's gonna be $7.60.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Freaking love their carnitas combo burritos.
Hello.
There you go.
Any hot dogs for today?
No, but could I get a receipt?
What was it?
A receipt?
And your receipt.
Awesome, thank you.
I'll have your food for you.
Thank you. I need to get back in the habit of doing the surveys on the back of the Del Taco receipt, because that's worth $1 off every time you go to Del Taco, and when your total's only $7, like $1 makes a difference. So. All right, I'll plug in my Obama phone 4 into the charger in my car. Still haven't got service back on it. I just need to do a little prepaid service on it, even if I throw $10 at it, just for the people that are trying to reach me at that number. Because that is the number that I have in with Amazon for my appeal. Of course, I could always just call their what do you call it? Their human resources line, and just tell them to change that phone number and let them know that I was without phone for a couple of days, without a phone number whatsoever for a couple of days. Although I hate calling on I hate calling at night because I always get connected to somebody in India I can barely understand. That seems to barely be able to understand me. Dang, I totally lost my train of thought at what the hell I was talking about before I rolled into Delta. I thought, you come up with burritos.
You want any hot sauce?
Oh, no. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so hungry. I had a couple bologna sandwiches at home before I left, but that was hours ago. You have to pardon me, I'm gonna be eating while I'm talking. I know it's disgusting, but I'm hungry. And I think I'm headed towards I told Tim and also the bartender who overcharged me a little bit over at Hideaway that I was gonna head there tonight. I wasn't even thinking it was gonna be an amateur drinking night, so if it's too crowded, I might just get the beer that she owes me and bounce out. But, yeah, I got the food is always really good at Hideaway, but it used to be a really good value, and now it's just kind of pricey. Like, I got a chili cheese dog, and it was absolutely delicious, but it was not particularly large. It was a pretty average sized chili cheese dog. And it was $9.99, which seems a bit much for a chili cheese dog, even in a bar. Try to fill my belly with some Del Taco on the way there. Damn, I totally forgot what I was talking about. I'm having one of those moments. Speed limit 40 miles an hour. That guy just zipped by me like I was parked. And you can see we're coming up on a red light, so I don't see the purpose in going faster to get to the red light faster. I mean, he's not even headed to the right where he could potentially be turning right on red faster. I don't know. I guess some people just like to spend more time idling and waste more gas. I guess that's the thing. I can only assume somebody who drives something as large as that SUV. There he is. Yeah, didn't really accomplish anything. Wow, and look how far behind he is sitting from the vehicle in front of him. I saw somebody, I think it was a YouTube channel, where that a guy had a cute name for that, and it was coined after a certain social media, but damn if I can remember what it was. Alright. Weave in and out of traffic so he can ride his brakes. People driving like that, and I just think they're an accident waiting to happen. So as I was saying, yeah, I got on Vistaprint.com while I was over at the Ox Bar and ordered 500 more business cards. The last time I purchased 250, the price difference between 250 and 500 was like $3. kind of a no-brainer. I mean, the 250 lasted me a long time, but I mean, what's $3, you know? And especially with inflation now, and I figured it'd be good to have that many cards handy. And now definitely feels like a good time to be actively looking for another karaoke show. Especially since it doesn't conflict with my my current work schedule. In fact, I could see it working well with my current work schedule. It's typically when I have a karaoke show, it takes me about an hour to pack everything up and get out. Kind of average. So I'm looking at show ending at 2, me getting out by 3. Just to give me enough time to get home, get ready to head to the warehouse. I gotta leave my place at around 4 to have enough time to stop and get a Mountain Dew and then drive to the warehouse, as it is a damn long drive. It's bumming me. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of that furniture company. But to be fair, they don't have giant signs on the building. They have little teeny tiny signs, so it's making it that much harder for me to remember. As my phone goes blurry. Yeah. I mean, granted, this iPhone shoots better nighttime driving video than Obama Phone 4 does, but it's by no means good. And speaking of additional phones for shooting of my vlog, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the phone repair place, whose name I absolutely can't remember, over in Tempe, that got my old iPhone 6s Plus going, also has Obama Phone 3 and is putting a new screen in it. Now, it's costing me more money to get that screen replaced than it would have been to just buy a perfect condition, new, unlocked, or used, unlocked. Probably not new, but to buy a used, unlocked, in perfect condition TCL Revel 4. I'm paying a little bit more to get my old one fixed, but the advantage on getting my old one fixed is that it's going to have all my stuff on it. The disadvantage of getting my old one fixed is I didn't even mention to him that there's an issue with, God, maybe I should try to get there on Tuesday and tell him if he hasn't put the screen on yet, that there was also an issue after it broke with cell reception. Now I'm looking at primarily to just use that device as a oh damn, this parking lot is full. Wow, there are a lot of people loitering at the bus stop. Oh, and it looks like I got VIP parking, so I'm good. Very nice. Yeah, I should probably go there and maybe let him know about that. Perhaps he can get it. I mean, granted, I was pretty much looking at using it as a Wi-Fi, camera and a Wi-Fi mobile device, what do you call it, Android device, just for running apps and stuff on it. However, as I've said many times, Obama Phone 4 is fucking awful, and right now it's looking like I've become, for whatever reason, probably because I filed my taxes, made too much, made too much money by what I told the IRS. That would be my guess, but anyway, they found that I'm ineligible for Lifeline service, which is fine, whatever. I'm definitely down to get another service and try to maintain Brittany's number, just for the shits and grins of maintaining Brittany's number. But if I do that, this particular phone, not only is it wretched, but it's not unlocked. It's carrier locked. Assurance Wireless's deal is you must have it for a year before it's eligible for carrier unlocked. For carrier unlocked to use any SIM card from third-party carriers. And what do you call it? While I have not yet got it unlocked, it was a while back that I got a text message from Assurance Wireless letting me know that that phone is eligible to be unlocked. At any rate, I definitely need to get some prepaid money on that number just so I don't lose the number. But yeah, I have had some people contact me like, hey, your phone's dead. I'm like, no, my real phone number's not. You're trying to reach me on the Obama phone. I said, that's like not even my number. That's Brittany's number. Anyway, I'm here. I'll save that other burrito for later. Yeah, I'll be back. See what's shaking here. But at the very least, they owe me a beer, so I'm gonna get that. And I'm back. I actually stayed over at Hideaway longer than I thought I was going to. Had a pretty good time, but wasn't really connecting with anybody. And Katrina actually texted me back and said she was. I just texted her to ask if she was working. She left some stuff in my car, and I was thinking about maybe heading over to GYR3 during her lunch break if she was, and handing her stuff back, and maybe trying to connect with a couple of people that I see every night that I didn't bother to get a phone number from, that just maybe get a phone number from. By the way, it's 10:42 p.m. right now. Still Sunday night, Labor Day weekend, or is it Memorial Day weekend? I always get those two confused. They're both, at the risk of sounding callous, they're both holidays that mean very little to me. It's just, for me, it's just a Monday that things aren't open that I would rather be open. Honestly, I would rather be going to work this morning at 5 a.m. than having the day off tomorrow. I have no plans for tomorrow. I'm not having a barbecue or a trip or anything. All right, I don't like the angle of this camera. I'm going to try to adjust it here. Is that better? I think that's a little better. So yeah, I just texted her in hopes, thinking I maybe, since I'm not working tonight, maybe go there during the lunch break or during the end of shift. Oh, I just said that, yeah. Because there are some people that I met at work whose numbers I would really like to get, most particularly the older Brazilian woman that had been giving me rides, not all the way home, but most of the way home. I feel like her and I were really starting to kind of connect, even though we have a wee bit of a language barrier. And the last day I was there, the day I found out that I was fired, so not last Wednesday, but I think the Wednesday before, she was coming in from break and kind of deliberately stayed a little, might have been a little late coming back, but it was the first break, so that's not one that you clock out for. So yeah, Amazon doesn't really track how long that break is. As long as you get back in a reasonable amount of time, you're generally okay. Unless you're in prep receiver decamp, they are kind of tracking you there. But again, as long as you're back in a reasonable amount of time, you're all right. But yeah, she kind of stopped and talked with me a little bit. She's like, knowing that and I knew full well she was trying to get back to work, and I was like, you better get back. She's like, no, I'm okay. But God, she looked fucking stunning that night. And it's very rare that I ever feel that way about a woman that's actually older than me. I want to say she's somewhere between 2 and 3 years older than I am, which, I mean, isn't really much of anything, considering that most of the time I'm dating women that are 1-2 decades plus younger than me. So generally my issue with women that are my age or older is I just simply don't find them attractive. And I know that sounds kind of sexist, but it just seems like most women my age really don't stay in shape. They're just, most women that I meet my age are not fit. That's pretty much it. Full stop. I might be approaching my 53rd birthday, but I'm a pretty fit guy. I mean, I'm no fitness person, I'm no gym person, but I'm not remotely overweight. I'm fit. I mean, I can pull a pallet jack all night and be all right with it. I can walk for miles and be all right with it. So most women that I meet my age can't do those things. The Brazilian woman, she can. She's in amazing shape. So yeah. Of course, that's not what my agenda is right now. My agenda is going out to Katrina's place, which is where I spent most of the last weekend. Of course, I did have to stay and kind of finish what I was doing. So, in fact, she had just texted me. She's like, "Hey, how much longer are you going to be?" But yeah, I just ordered another beer before she texted me back and said that she wasn't working. And then I asked her if she wanted to go out. You know, why not? And you know, before she texted and said, "Well, yeah, sure." And then she threw in the caveat of, "But you're bringing me home at the end of the night." Oh, yeah, of course. No, I was planning on kidnapping her. I don't know. Then again, you know, when I stayed the night with her, both her and her friend were talking about some guys that they'd hung out with and bad experiences with different guys. So I get where she's coming from, and I also get where she's coming from as somebody who doesn't drive. Yeah, there are times I'm really leery to go see people or go hang out with people for fear of getting stranded in a place where I can't get back with public transit. That's a very legit fear for a person that doesn't drive. I get that, but no, I got her. I mean, I'll be honest, I'll be a little disappointed if I get to her place and she just wanted me to bring her shit, and it's like, okay, you gotta go by. Like, I will feel a little taken advantage because it's a hell of a drive I'm doing right here to get to her place, and gas is still damn near $5 a gallon. I did get the whole tank. Oh, I shot video of that. Yeah, the whole tank in the Costco over in Tolleson. Damn near headed to Tolleson right now. But yeah, I did get the full tank, and I'm still, you know, doing pretty good for gas. I forget what the price was at Costco. It seems like it was like about $4.50. So yay, 50 cents a gallon cheaper than most places I see, but still fucking expensive. And while my Saturn gets good mileage, it's no Honda Insight. So yeah, gas is a very legit expense, and I'm, you know, trying not to be wasteful. So hopefully she's really down for going somewhere. I have no idea where we go. You know what I mean? But I really like hanging out with her. Although this after last weekend, I don't really have any romantic interest in her anymore. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, cool to hang out with her. Mostly, I just want to like talk shop with her because I never did get a full explanation as to why she got suspended for forklift driving at GYR3. And I really want to talk with somebody who has been a forklift driver at GYR3, and that's the only forklift experience they have, about just how different my experience is in the place that I'm working. So I don't know. We might cruise around. We might. I don't know what we're doing. I'm just down for whatever I'm down for whatever she's doing. So, anyway, yeah, I think she's a little disappointed how long it's taken me to get to her. But obviously, I'm not just like I was, and I guess I should have told her that. But yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it. crowd that was there, ish. It was a large group for a birthday party. And they were completely staying to themselves. They weren't mingling with anybody else. As I said, I didn't really connect with anybody while I was there. Now, I did have this one guy that was totally mean-mugging me. And I don't know, he thought I was checking out his woman or not. His woman looked to be like 10 years older than him. I thought she looked older than me. I wouldn't be surprised if she was 10 or 15 years younger than me, because as I've said, like, I'm fit and that woman was wide. And if it looked like I was looking at her, it was only because she was too large for me to look around her. Just saying. She kept shaking her ass, so it's, you know, if you make a spectacle of yourself, people are going to know. It just is what it is. Only had time to sing 2 songs. He's got quite a few singers. And as I mentioned before, the way Tim runs his show. Oh, and I said DJ T1000. It's DJ T100. Again, I don't really know what the origin of that is. I just noticed it on the screen. Anyway, Tim, cool as fuck. Love that guy. He actually had a guy that he's, for the company he works for, which I think is called Modern Karaoke, one of the guys that were there singing, he's training to be a host. And I'm thinking one thing that the guy is training is not understanding that is really important for a host is when you're hosting a show, read the room. Notice the demographics of the room. Try to figure out where their head is at musically. And then as a singer, sing what they're going to dig. This guy was white. He was singing butt rock and 80s headbanger music. While the crowd at Hideaway Lounge these days is not as black as Bullock's Cocktails is. Yeah, that guy will be dead sooner than later, riding his bike like that. Holy crap. Yeah, well, oh, and there's his friend also riding like an idiot. Yeah, while, oh, here comes another one. At least he's smart enough to pass on the left. That guy's driving like an old man bike as opposed to a crotch rocket, and he's riding a little more responsibly. But anyway. Dang, 3 motorcycles back to back. That's something I don't see on I-10 very often. So anyway, Tim very much, the guy Tim's training, and his girlfriend, who is also very white, we're both singing like very white people rock-ish type stuff. And nothing against that. I mean, I love singing that stuff. I will sing Ozzy. I will rip up some Pantera. I mean, there's literally no genre of music I'm not down to sing. There really isn't. But the crowd that is there is very much a hip-hop and R&B kind of crowd. And it's very, very diverse, darker skin tones. A lot of Hispanics, some natives, a lot of blacks, not a lot of white people. So, yeah, if this guy's thinking about hosting, I feel he's failing to read the room. Now, I never talked to that guy or his girlfriend who was hanging with him. I assume she was his girlfriend. Getting girlfriend vibes off them. They were kind of together, not really talking to anybody else. But, I'm kind of a loner outcast of sorts. Like I said, not really connecting with anybody, not really talking to anybody there tonight. But at least I'm reading the room, and the 2 songs that I did sing seemed to hit pretty well with the crowd. I sang Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD. Love that song. I love the fact that it's built on a Sting guitar hook, which the average Juice WRLD probably has no familiarity with Sting. Yeah, I've been listening to Sting since the first Police album, so it crosses, that crosses a lot of stuff that I like, but I'm also into Juice WRLD. Rest in peace. Yeah, so love singing that song. There were a couple spots where I kind of missed the lyrics. It was the version I'm used to singing off my system is Any Caution YouTube channel, and the version that Tim had was Sunfly. And there was nothing wrong with the version per se, but Sunfly has a way of holding their lyrics where on fast songs, sometimes the lyrics are not on the screen. They're not on the screen in time for you to see them before they're highlighting. So there were a couple of instances where I couldn't remember exactly like what the next words were, and by the time they were on the screen where I could see them, like it was already too late to sing them. So, but for the most part, I think I still did well with that song. I know that song pretty well. I did that song, so got a great crowd response off of it. The other one I did, which I didn't see a lot of people in the crowd that seemed to be familiar with it. I still got a really good crowd response because it's a song that I sing really well, and apparently people were vibing on it and digging the song. But I did Get You by Daniel Caesar. Speaking of Daniel Caesar, when I was over at Osbar, I finally tried singing Japanese Denim by Daniel Caesar, which I've never sang before. Which I think I did okay with it. I think I need to listen to it more. I had put it on that little MP3 player that I was using on my forklift the last couple of weeks I was at Amazon. So it's a little more fresh in my mind. That was when I found myself singing along to on the forklift. But yeah, I don't know. I did it. Nobody knew it to know, what I did wrong. So I just kind of found my own space in it. I feel like I do it better, but that was fun. Other thing I was doing, iPhone getting low in power, and I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but my battery health. I do think I've mentioned my battery health on my old iPhone. Not so good. It's like 70-something%, which is pretty damn bad. So yeah, it doesn't hold a charge very well. And I don't know if I'm really wanting to put a new battery in this. I'd rather get a 6S Plus that has 128 gigs. Although at this point, I think I really need to be looking into a more modern smartphone, if for no other reason than it just have something that shoots better quality video while in my phone holder at night, like what I'm doing right now. And on that note, I think just like my main communications device, this thing is great. I've long, many times that I feel the 6S Plus is just where iPhone peaked as far as having all the old school features that I really like, but having the more modern capability. And granted, it can't take the latest. It can't take the latest. Oh yeah, run that red light. It can't take the latest. It's not running the latest version of iOS. It's hit its where it's last of the line on iOS. Now it does occasionally get some security patches from Apple. It's still a supported phone by Apple and supported, fully on the Apple App Store. In fact, the only time I've noticed that I've tried to download something for it where I'm told, oh yeah, the newest version is not supported by your phone, so we're going to give you the latest version it can't support, is iMovie, which is fine. I'm comfortable, like at least I know what I'm doing with the version of iMovie on here. Which, speaking of which, that's something I was doing while I was at the bar. I had it plugged in and charging because the thing has a weak battery, and I'm finally able to combine a bunch of short videos together for my YouTube channel, which is great because the one I was working on has 5 segments, so that would have been 5 separate videos of uploads, and I don't want that. So nice to be able to combine my videos again, and yeah, doing that. At one point I got while I wasn't. Well, it wouldn't have made a difference if I was watching it or not, but I got the pop-up warning me that I'm at a 20% battery level, which of course stops iMovie from exporting because it must be the active front, whatever you call it, active app at all times, or it doesn't work, which is just what a programming flaw that is. But anyway, not wanting to lead y'all to Katrina's door, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. But might be the end of this video. I don't know. Because obviously I'm not going to be running video while we're hanging out. But anyway, thanks for watching, and appreciate your support. And if you enjoy listening to me talk to myself like a crazy person,